see it going. Over the past 5 years, we've done very well expanding internationally, and we wanted to test our bounds to see where else we can go. So we'll start off by introducing the executive team. My name is Darby Varagan.
My name is Monis Desai. I was responsible for the financial sector.
I'm Aaron Little, and I will focus on culture and diet.
I'm Jamie Gonzalez, and I focus on poverty and sustainability.
I'm Hunter McDaniel, and I'm focused on agriculture and production.
Okay, so the first thing we wanted to do as Earth Smart Foods is focus on our mission, vision, values, because in order to understand where you're going, you need to understand where you are. So we came up with this like one sentence slurb of what we feel is the essence of Earth Smart Foods, which is providing tasty, local, healthy, and sustainable meal options while reducing plastic and waste. And we do this through our biodegradable packaging and our 6-week shelf life. So using this, we created our vision, and we decided that we needed a country that valued sustainability as a sustainability company, because that's where our market lies. So we wanted a country that not only has great sustainability efforts now, but is also looking to improve their efforts in the future. We also wanted a country that shows a lot of growth in terms of government aligned with social issues, wanting to improve their country. And we also wanted a bright future in terms not only economically, but potential expansion for Earth Smart Foods. So we wanted to make sure, although we're only moving production now, in the next few years, if we wanted to move manufacturing also, we had those options with optimal climate and soil. And because of these things, we decided to go with Chile. And so now Hunter's going to talk to you a little bit about Chile and some of the benefits that come with this.
Well, Darby, the benefits of producing our product in the U.S. are really numerous. To name a few, Chile has a long-standing free trade agreement with the U.S. That's going to allow us to easily export our finished orders to the warehouse in Chile that we have purchased. Also, Chile is one of the few Latin American countries to initiate a movement towards environmental sustainability. So it'll be very easy to move our consumers in the country to purchase our product, being that we're on a platform of sustainability. Finally, along with Argentina, Chile is also one of the most economically flourishing countries in Latin America. So they will be very open to purchasing our somewhat of a luxury snack food item. And now I'm going to turn it over to Monis to talk to you guys a little bit more about the Chilean economy.
So going off of what Hunter said about economic stability, Chile is currently in the top 3 most economically stable in South America. The first statistic we decided to look at was GDP, and currently it has a GDP of over 250 billion USD. In comparison with the population, that's very high. We also decided to look at GDP per capita because we wanted to know on an individual basis how well the economy in Chile is doing. With a GDP per capita of over 15,000, it fit just right for our company.
All right, now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about one of the benefits Hunter mentioned, which is the United States relations with Chile. This is probably one of the biggest benefits why we chose Chile. So Chile and the United States have been working together for the past 26 years. In the 90s, when Chile established their independence and started their democracy. Ever since then, the United States has sort of been like a big brother to Chile, and that's why they constantly collaborate on issues such as international commerce, military, academic exchanges, security, that kind of thing. And because that relationship went so well, they wanted to expand it into other countries. And so they are actually working together now to develop other countries on issues such as citizen security, social inclusion, improving agricultural standards, and to export promotion. And they started their own export promotion process through the 2004 Free Trade Agreement, which is one of the biggest benefits for our company because this free trade agreement allows us to ship product tax and duty free. All exports from the United States into Chile have that option. This not only reduces shipping costs, it also lessens regulations on shipping. There's less red tape in order to get our product into the country. And they really have tried to provide a frictionless process for businesses. It also provides security and insurance for your product to make sure that your product does stay secure and you have a process. Now, if you will look at the graph, they also have, this kind of just shows you that this is a process that other businesses have already started doing. After the 2004 Free Trade Agreement, up until 2013, trade between the U.S. and Chile has grown 305%. So that's a pretty big deal that the U.S. and Chile have started. Also, they have recently started this process called the Visa Waiver Agreement, so that your business executives can go either into the U.S. or into Chile for up to 90 days without obtaining a visa. This is optimal for us because when we start up, or if we start up operations in Chile, this allows us to have executives over there, so there's an increased communication between the two. Also, if we need Chile executive members to come over to the U.S. for annual report meetings or anything like that, we have those options. And now, Aaron is going to talk to you a little bit about culture and diet.
Alright, so when considering the culture, we really wanted to pick a big topic to consider, which was their religious beliefs and their religious policies. And the majority of the country does practice Roman Catholicism, which is 66.6% of the country. And one thing that really drew us to Chile was their freedom of religion and their constitution, because we do believe when we're going out, if we ever have to go to Chile and do work there, we don't want our employees who may have different beliefs besides Roman Catholicism be judged, discriminated, harmed in any sort of way, so that really pushed us towards Chile. As for diet, they really enjoy local crops and they enjoy healthy foods, which is basically Earth Smart's product. And it comes as an advantage to us because as a new product on the market, them being pushed towards healthy crops and local foods, it really may increase our chances of having a better sale than new products. So now I'm going to turn to Jamie for sustainability and poverty.
Alright, so Earth Smart Foods is an environmentally conscious business. So in choosing a country to export to, we wanted a country that's shared our similar sustainability values, and we found that in Chile. So the World Bank's program has a sustainable land management project that currently includes a portfolio of operations adding up to $5.86 million. And that's a lot of money investing into sustainable methods. So Chile has 3 main programs that they have, and they are all, their goal for all of them is to reduce emissions in the country. And those 3 projects are the Chile Hornitos hydropower project, the Chacabuquito hydroelectric project, and the Chile Caleco hydropower project. And they all basically work in different aspects of Chile. One of them focuses on the international aspect, the other one focuses on generating emissions and shifting those emissions from thermal emissions to hydropower emissions. And they all basically work together to mitigate climate change. And this leads me to my other main aspect of why we chose Chile, which is poverty. I don't know why the graph looks like that, but poverty has drastically dropped over the last decade, causing it to be one of the least impoverished countries in South America. This graph is supposed to show you the drastic decline. As you can see the arrows, it's the percentage of Chile living on $1.90. And it went from 5% to nearly 2% from 2000 to 2015. So this allows the Chilean population to be able to purchase our products, since there's not that much poverty in the country. And now I'm going to turn it over to Hunter. He's going to talk about the process.
So step 1 in our production process will be to use our existing farms and facilities in Florida to produce our ingredients, and then to process the ingredients, and then to ship the finished goods to Chile via airmail. Our products will then be picked up from the Santiago airport and then taken to a distribution warehouse in Santiago via truck. The product will be unloaded at the warehouse and then will be placed in a holding area to await shipment to our retailers. The products will be taken from the warehouse to another nearby airmail service that will be shipped via airplane to all of our retailers, and the retailers will then pick up our goods from the airport to place on their shelves to be sold to consumers in Chile. So why did we decide to establish or maintain production in the U.S. versus establishing production in Chile? There are quite a few reasons. It's rarely ever prudent to dive headfirst into a business venture in a foreign economy. So starting out with our production in the U.S. will allow us to get a feel for the local climate, the local economy, and then also for the success of our product. Is it going to be successful in Chile? Maintaining production in the U.S. will allow us to answer those questions without any kind of major financial risk to our company. Air shipping to Chile is also relatively cheap compared to all the costs that we would incur if we were to establish that production in Chile. I think a small cost that we would incur of shipping to the country is relatively minuscule compared to the grand scheme of things in the long run. There's also a high cost of land in Chile, as you can see from the chart below. So establishing production there would also be quite expensive. There's over $1 million price difference in land prices. If you just follow the chart down, you can see those major price differences between the U.S. and Chile. There's also a $100,000 difference in building prices and a $375,000 difference between equipment, because if we were to move our production to Chile and establish production there, we would obviously have to purchase brand new farm equipment, brand new tractors, combines, harvesters, etc. We'd have to purchase all new equipment because it wouldn't be feasible to ship our existing machinery to the country. So ultimately, there's a nearly $500,000 price difference, as you can see in orange at the bottom, between producing in the U.S. and producing in Chile. So when we were assessing this cost difference, it came off as a no-brainer to us in terms of establishing production or maintaining production in the U.S. And so now I'm going to let Manas talk to you about the average price of groceries and other goods in Chile.
So Hunter spoke a little bit about the prices that, the expenses we're going to have to incur while we're going through this process. In order to make sure we still did make a profit, I had to analyze some of the other products sold in Chile, and we decided to make a visual graph so you guys can better understand the pricing. So something as simple as milk costs nearly 3,000 pesos. A loaf of bread is almost 600 pesos. We wanted to make our Earth Smart food bar almost equal to some of these other prices, so we put it right there. I'll talk a little bit more about pricing on the next slide. So for the average price, this is a meal replacement bar, so I also looked up the average price of a meal at an inexpensive restaurant in Chile. That would be comparable to fast food here, and it is much higher than the bar itself. So in order to make sure we did get a good gross profit, we decided to put the bar at $1.99 per bar. For a box of 6 bars, we did want to give a bit of a discount to Chilean customers, so we decided to do $11 a box. The expected first year sales would be around 300,000 bars, which would give us a $600,000 net income. I'm going to give it over to Jamie. She's going to talk a little bit about the packaging.
Alright, so this is the Earth Smart Foods bar that we have adapted to the Chilean population. As you can see, we've translated the Earth Smart Foods to Comida de Gente de la Tierra, and what we're going to be promoting it as is para saludable, para reemplazo de comida, which basically means healthy meal replacement bar. And this leads me to our next slide, talking about barriers. So I want to ask a question. How many of you guys know a Spanish-speaking friend or relative, just someone that almost fluently speaks Spanish? That's a majority of the class. So I just wanted to kind of knock that barrier down initially, because I would be the Spanish spokesperson for management in the country. And another barrier that we would incur is the unevenly distributed poverty in the country. But the politicians in the country are already very focused on it and are dealing with it and are reducing the poverty in the aspect by increasing taxes to give free education to the Chilean population. And I'm going to turn it over to Aaron.
So in conclusion, we believe by starting in Chile, we can hopefully increase our sales and hopefully benefit us in the South American region and hopefully expand even more in different countries. And so I thank you so much for your time, guys.